Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show we are going to have Juan. Juan is from Spain, but he lives in Cardiff in Wales. So let's see what Juan has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hi there.
Hello Juan, how are you?
Good, good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can, absolutely. I can hear you very well. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Thanks so much for waiting a bit longer. My God, was rushing to get here. Amazing. Thank you.
it's fine. Here we are. Here we are now.
Amazing, amazing. Juan, so just before we start the game, tell me where you're from.
I was born in Spain, but I live in Cardiff, here in Wales.
Oh, okay. And what's the best part of living in Cardiff?
It's just really good quality of life, to be honest, because at the moment you step outside of the bigger cities, you get better rent, better mortgages, you get more outdoor space. So I do like it here.
And where in Spain you are from? You come from?
I'm from the northwest coast, a city called Oviedo, which is quite small, to be honest, but it's in a very rainy part of Spain. So when you say Spain to people, they think about the typical holiday resorts. But no, I come from the other side of the country.
Where it rains a lot.
Yes, yes, it's a very rocky area, and obviously we do get the same storms and the same bad weather that we get here in the UK as well, really. So for me, going from Spain to Wales, weather-wise, it's just the same actually, because we get the same rain and the same landscape actually.
And why Cardiff?
I went to Cardiff because of the actual university. So I picked not the city, but I picked the university. And after the degree, I said, you know what? I do like the city. I'm going to stay here just for 1 year. And then in 2 years, 3 years, and I've been here now for a while. Kind of settled here, kind of settled.
And what do you do for living, Juan?
I work in primary care, and also I work as a coach as well. So I do two things at the same time.
So tell me a little bit about your primary care, you said?
Yes, that's it.
And your coaching business.
So my primary care is like my main job, if you want to. I work face-to-face with people, and that's what I do like about 3 days a week, more or less, as a self-employed person. And that is what I came here to study. And then like about 2 days a week, I do more coaching, which is completely separate because it's not healthcare related, really. So I just try to expand my creativity side on the coaching and the more professional kind of side on the primary care, really. But I do like it. It's a good balance at the end, and both have a little bit in common.
I see. Okay, so through the game, I'm gonna explore a little bit about your both career and a little bit about yourself as well.
Yeah, of course.
So welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have a lovely box full of wonderful questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay?
Fantastic, yeah.
Let's do it. Okay, Juan, so just before we start the game, so through the journey, if there is a question that you don't have an answer for, you don't want to talk about for some reason, I always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, okay?
Perfect.
First question for you is, would you ever get a tattoo and what that would be?
Oh, the answer would be possibly yes at some point. I don't have any at the moment. And what it would be, I don't know exactly, but I know it would be something quite small, like a little drawing or something, a quite discreet kind of thing. But yeah, that would be actually the answer, really. I would be open to the possibility, but I would be really struggling to find out exactly what I want to have done.
It's very interesting saying that because I don't have any tattoos either, and I always been it's something that's not I find beautiful in people. When I see people with tattoos, I feel, oh, that's fascinating, it's beautiful, there's always a story behind, but I've never been kind of, maybe sometimes I haven't been brave enough because of the pain, and sometimes I'm scared as well if I would get, you know what I mean, if I wouldn't enjoy anymore the tattoo and it'll be too late. So yeah, but you never know, maybe we change, we're always changing. Next question. Next question for you is, what season of the year you feel more connected with and why?
I would just say summer, to be honest. I really like summer because The weather is quite nice. The days are longer, so you get lots of, vitamin D and sunlight. And I just like it a little bit more. I have to say though that over the last few years, I just learned to appreciate the other seasons. They're there for a reason. And if it was summer all the time, you would really get bored of it. It would be quite tiring. Like the typical heat wave is funny for a day or two, but when you are 2 weeks in a heat wave, at the end, you really don't want it anymore. So now I really embrace the winter. I really embrace, the cold weather, spring and summer, really.
And you, is your birthday around summertime as well or not?
Springtime, so around springtime, so kind of about the same, really. By my birthday in Spain, it's usually around the time when you can wear shorts and t-shirt. So my birthday kind of marks the point where you can just start to wear t-shirt and shorts, which I like quite a lot.
Very good. Next one. Before the next question, tell me what do you like the most about your coaching career and what's the most challenging part?
What I like the most is that I get to help people and I see change happening as the sessions develop, really. So I see there's a transformation from a beginning and then to an end. And I feel that I have kind of facilitated that change, but all the action came from the actual client. They did all the work, they did all the idea generation. So that's really what I like the most about it, really.
And what's the most challenging part of it?
The challenging part, I think it would just be the admin side, because it's quite a lot. You may think coaching, yeah, you just do the one-to-one and that's it, but there's a lot of admin around, especially afterwards for each session. There's a lot of login to do, etc. And also the continuing education that you got to do as a coach, really, just to keep on top of things, just to always improve. Because you've got to go towards coaching with a point of view that, I'm also here learning, and every coaching engagement is an opportunity to learn and get better and better. So that is also something that I like.
And your clients, when they come after you, it's what their needs, why they come after your job as a coach?
Most of the time is well-being related, especially indoor well-being inside the home, in any aspect from the sleeping point of view, or work-life balance if they happen to work at home. So those are the key ones, really. I specialize most on the well-being aspect of it and all its categories as well.
I see. Very good. Next question for you is, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
Ooh, dinner. I would not. I mean, that's a tricky one, because it's not about choosing like a favorite celebrity or anything, because having dinner is a different kind of situation. You're there eating and it depends on what you're eating as well. It could be quite messy, like a burrito or something. I don't know. I would possibly be with a painter, with one of the classic painters as well, just to see what's in their mind, what is the thought process, and just kind of to see the human side as well, because we get to see just the idealized version of their creations. And it's just to see, what kind of personality they have, how they connect to people, etc. So I would just possibly be with one of the classic artists.
Very good. Next question. Okay, Juan, next question for you is, tell us about your first kiss and your first love.
First kiss and first love. First kiss, I don't remember. I'm not sure. People know the place and the moment and the person. I just don't remember. And the first love is possibly one of those impossible loves that is never meant to happen. And you kind of start to feel something, and you're like, is this love? What am I feeling? And then you realize, you grow up and think, maybe that was love, but in a teenage version of it, really. But yeah, that would be the situation, really, with the love and the first kiss. With the love, I really remember. It hurts, obviously, but with the kiss, who knows?
And do you have siblings as well back home?
I do have a sister, and actually, talking about tattoos earlier, she's covered in tattoos.
Oh God, that's amazing!
So she did start just with a one, a little one, very symbolic, means a lot to me, and then she just started to filling all the other gaps in her body, and now she ran out of skin, and she's doing the palms of the hands now.
Oh wow! I'm gonna invite her for the magic box for her to talk about the tattoos.
Yeah, seriously, she has so many. Each of them is a story. So
I'm sure. And are you guys very close?
yeah, we are. To be honest, we have a kind of relationship that we may not speak for a while, but then we carry on like it was yesterday, really. So I'm quite lucky, to be honest, to have a sister like that.
Oh, beautiful. She'll be very happy when she watches the interview. Next question. Before the next one, Juan, tell me, what was the most challenging part when you arrived in Cardiff, when you moved to live in Cardiff, and what do you enjoy the most about living there?
Perhaps I struggle with the kind of mundane things, like just opening a bank account, getting a SIM card for the phone, because to be honest, I had learned English before, but I wasn't unsure how to ask for these things. So the everyday stuff that they don't tell you in school, I did struggle a little bit with. But what I did like was that for like about 3 months, it really felt like living in a foreign country, because obviously it was the situation. But that feeling disappeared. After a while, that feeling disappeared. And suddenly I realized, no, that's where I live now. This is home now. But the novelty wasn't there anymore, for good and for bad, to be honest. But that's something quite interesting that I noticed. It's just that, the novelty. You go to the supermarket, all these new brands that I've never heard before, all these soup types. And eventually you realize, you go back to the supermarket and it's like, yeah, same one.
Have you ever tried to learn Welsh?
Yes, actually, yeah, but just at Duolingo level, you know what I mean? So I'm doing level 1 on Duolingo, just because I think it's a very, very interesting language. It's just older than English. It's just fascinating. So also sometimes the people that I deal with, they do speak Welsh, and I want to be able, maybe not to have a conversation, but just to be able just to introduce words or to know what they're on about. So that would be my goal, to eventually have a basic level of understanding of Welsh.
One of my best friends, my close friend, he's from Cardiff, and he's flying now from Gran Canaria to London, and he just arrived, and he's the one who's organized my thumbnails for the channel. And I've been editing videos, and I just sent him a few pictures of interviews I do for him to create, and he sent me a message now before the interview. He said, William, I've been very busy on the plane, so he made a lot of thumbnails that's for my channel. But saying that, the first time I got my first visa in the UK, I've been here for 20 years, almost 20 years now, and 20 years in Europe. I was living in Portugal, but the first visa I got in the UK was in Cardiff, and I remember arriving for the very first time in Cardiff, and I could see English, like some, you know what I mean, and some Welsh underneath as well.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, there's another language here.
It's really good that they promote it so much, really. They make a big effort to make sure it's bilingual everywhere. And I think that's the way, because otherwise it just will slowly disappear.
Absolutely. Next question, Juan, let's do it. Before the next question, tell me a little bit about your other career in the healthcare.
The other career is basically optometry, which is basically what I've done for a long time. And it's also quite fascinating. It's also obviously one-to-one. And I really liked it. I don't know why, when I was just 17 or so, I did study optics and physics in high school, and I realized, oh, you know what, I do like this branch of it. So that's what got me into optometry. And then the reason why I came to Cardiff is because I was able just to continue my degree I studied in Spain and just expand my knowledge in Cardiff. They allow me to do that, because otherwise I would have been in either Bradford or Manchester. So those were the other two options. I think I'm quite lucky that I got in Cardiff, really, because it's well respected, and I met a lot of wonderful people there.
And do you see yourself living in Cardiff for a while?
I think that as long as I live in the UK, I think Cardiff for me is the place to be. It's the perfect size, fairly small, but you can walk or cycle everywhere, fairly flat for that purpose as well. And in the future, who knows, if I ever move elsewhere or back to Spain, who knows? But within the UK, I've also lived in Brighton for part of my training, and it was nice. But what I find about Brighton is that it is especially nice in the summer when you get good weather, when you get that sort of seaside resort kind of feeling. But in the middle of the winter, it can be quite intense sometimes. It can be quite dark. So Cardiff is equally dark, to be honest, and it rains. But the scale of the city makes it a little bit easier.
Absolutely. Next question for you is, look the question now, talking about future. Where do you see yourself living when you retire?
Maybe in Spain, who knows? One of those retired people that end up living in Spain. I may become one of those.
Next question. Next question, Juan, for you is, what do you like the most in your best friends?
I like the honesty, to be honest. The honesty and the fact that we can joke about each other from a respectful point of view. And also it's quite grounding as well, because it's not about hyping each other, but also just keep a degree of like realism when we talk and when we laugh together. And finally, really, I don't really see them very often. Most of them are back in Spain, but we just get in touch on WhatsApp, on the internet, social media. And that's actually enough just to keep the relationship going. And when I go back home, it's just fantastic to see their faces, really.
I think best friends, when the chemistry is there, it's like a relationship. You know what I mean? It's never gonna end. You can be years and years without seeing your best friend, or nowadays technology is a plus. What helps more, the connection. But when the friendship is real, when it's there, So there's no way of getting rid of those friends, because it's gonna be there forever. Next question. Juan, so before I was checking your profile a little bit, and I saw your website called Happy Home Clinic. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so that's basically where I'm focusing my coaching creativity side. And it all started almost 5 years ago as a blog based on interiors and home deco, etc. And that was what kickstarted my interest in interior design. And then eventually I merged it with my coaching skills, with my well-being coaching skills, focusing within the indoor environment, how to make people happy, feeling balanced and joyful in the house. And that is what kind of led to a professional pathway parallel to my main one. And eventually I rebranded into Happy Home Clinic, and I'm actually quite pleased with the results, really. I still blog now and again, which is obviously like a way to showcase what you are about, what you like to talk about as well. And that is indeed kind of my creative side.
And what's the most frequent questions or needs that your clients come after you regarding that?
To be honest, the most common is colors, like paint colors, to be honest. That's just like number one question I get asked all the time. And it's not the easiest to answer, because it does require a little bit of I need to know about the room, you need to know about the orientation, what is the room going to be used for, etc. But that is just the key number one question everyone wants to know about.
Yeah, I think colors, it makes a difference, isn't it? And I think people are so connected with colors, and it can make a big impact in our lives. You know what I mean? Just the colors, for sure. Next question is, how would you like to be remembered in life?
Well, to be honest, I think that is one of the things that everybody wants to be remembered. But I think we will be remembered because of our legacy in the digital world. The social media post, all the websites that are going to be there. But I do know that at some point people will forget about me, and I think that's fine. And it's just like realizing that it's just going to be fine. You're going to have your relatives over in a few generations. They may remember about a great uncle living in Wales, but eventually they will forget about me. And I think it's actually nice as well. You're not going to be there forever. So I'm actually quite happy with a simple legacy, at least for my family and friends, until they can remember.
I think you are very modest, Juan. I think you're
Yeah,
very.
no, it's just, nothing about things like celebrity or things like that. I mean, some people obviously want to make an impact in a different way, in terms of community impact, in terms of human rights, etc. That's a very different story. But from what I do, I'm just happy with at least making people happy around me, my family, clients, and my friends.
I'm afraid to say those people like you that is kind of genuinely, it's very, very kind of modest. Those ones who leave a big impact in the world and a big legacy as well. So
who knows?
watch out, watch out.
I may never find out.
This interview is gonna be forever out there. So people are gonna watch the interview like in 100 years time, they're like, oh my God, he was wrong. Next one. Next question for you is, tell us about your guilty pleasure.
Well, it's not guilty pleasure, but it's just chocolate. I just love chocolate, and there's no excuse. Just always, every day is chocolate in my life. It could be in the morning. Sometimes I wake up, it's like toast with butter. No, chocolate spread. Mid-morning snack, just a cupcake. I just love chocolate. I do have to dose myself, but I guess that is just my biggest guilty pleasure, simply because I know I should be controlling myself a little bit more.
You know what I read the other day, a few years ago, that chocolates brings happiness. People who eat chocolates. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere or I saw in the TV. Well, I don't remember. It stuck to my mind about chocolate, that it brings happiness when people tend to eat chocolate every day. And you like any kind of chocolate? Do you have a preference for dark or more kind of milky?
Basically, simple chocolate. My father is the person who got me into chocolate because he used to love dark chocolate. There's always dark chocolate in the house, and he used to be just as bad as me. I also like milk chocolate as well, but I do share with him the fact that I like simple chocolate, just like a normal chocolate bar, a normal piece of cake. And when you start to add things to make it fancy, I don't like it so much. Like when you add salted caramel and strange things, it's like, no, just keep it simple. That's the way I like it.
Good one. Next question. One next question for you is, tell us something interesting about yourself.
Interesting about myself. Right. I mean, it's not really that interesting, but I remember in PE, as a child, I was always the fastest. When there were competitions, 100 meters or whatever, I was always the fastest. So that's something that I never use in my real professional pathways, and I don't really put it to practice very often. But it's just there, I guess.
Very good. And you enjoyed at the time, like running, be the fastest?
I just saw it as a very easy thing to do for me, just run away. Because we also had other skills that we had to master, and I was really bad. Like juggling balls, I was just awful, appalling. And all the others were doing really well, and I was just like, well, I can run, but I cannot do this.
Good for you, very good. Juan, I have 3 questions left, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. But before the next question, when you think about your hometown back in Spain, what's the best memories that you think about and kind of warm your heart? You go like, I really love that time of my life in there. What would be?
I think it would be summertime as a child, where pretty much almost every day is actually fairly nice. And because almost every day is nice, sometimes you just stay at home reading or playing computer games. Other days you just go to the pool with your friends, and that kind of easy life where, you don't know what day of the week it is, and you don't know, you finish all your homework already for the summer, and it's just easy and carefree. And that's just a very, very nice memory, to be honest. That kind of feeling that you can do whatever you want to, have a hobby, meet your friends, and there are no barriers and no limitations.
Very good. Next question is, who is your biggest idol and what have you learned with this person?
Oh, idols. This is a tough one, to be honest, because I'm not sure if I'm going to pick anybody known. But I guess that I had many idols in in the professional environment and also studying, both in high school, in my degrees. And there's basically just people who try to help you push a bit further and just try to make sure that you're trying to do things the best way you can. And in a way, I'm really grateful for them. It's not like an individual person, but just a series of professionals, teachers. My parents are also teachers as well. So I have, a lot of respect and admiration for everybody in the teaching profession, which is not an easy job at all, which is on the one hand, teaching people or children what to do. And on the other hand, it's just motivating them really, just to make sure that you can just pursue the dreams and know that it is possible to do so.
Wow. Yeah, I think teachers, they leave a big impact in people's lives. You know what I mean? For example, I remember my first teacher. I'll never forget my first teacher. And I've got other teachers as well through my youngest, school that when I think about them, I was like, my God, they were so right about certain topics. And I remember some lessons that they, not about like subjects, but about life, you know what I mean? Giving some advice. Teachers know, you know what I mean? They teach, but at the same time as well, they give away some very good advice that you take for life. And I remember sometimes as well, I remember my teachers, and actually saying that, I had an interview. I started doing Portuguese now as well, my first language. And I had an interview. I had an English teacher back in Brazil when I was a teenager. I was studying English. And she has a teacher, a sister who is a teacher as well, 75 years old. And she participated on the show. I did the interview with her and I released the show on the 24th, Christmas Eve. And she's a teacher, and it was one of the best interview I ever had. And she was telling me something that I found so beautiful. She said that when she was teaching back in Brazil, she's in Italy now because she got a daughter who lives in Italy and her son in Brazil. So she spent some time in Italy and Brazil. And she said something that back in Brazil when she was teaching, she said that before she gave the test for the students, she was doing meditate, like a little meditation during the class, and she was writing like some kind of positive, relaxing message. Can you imagine how amazing that was? I was like, oh my God, I wish I was your student at the time.
It sounds amazing.
I know, and the interview she was saying, and the way she talks as well is very calm as well. I don't know if you understand Portuguese, but if you have the chance to watch in the channel, it's a beautiful interview. I had like 1 hour interview was like a lesson for me because I was learning every word she was saying. I was like so fascinated the way she was saying. So yeah, anyway, I think teachers, they leave a big impact in our lives for sure.
Absolutely, to be honest.
2 questions left. Let's do it. Next question is, what is your least favorite chore?
I think it's just emptying the dishwasher. And it's just such a silly thing because you have already a dishwasher that is washing all your dishes. But there is nothing that can just take them away and just having them up, really. It's the same thing with the clothes, really. We have the washing machine, it does wash the clothes, but somebody has to fold them neatly and put them in the right place. So those take me ages. I don't know why, especially the clothes. I just spend there like about half an hour just folding socks. So I would just say that's just the least favorite, basically because of the amount of time it takes me. I try to be productive, listen to music at the same time, to try to make it a little bit more interesting, but it's just still boring.
Good one. Last question, ready? Let's do it. Last question 1. But before the last question, when I was checking your website, there was a phrase there saying free home detox checklist.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so that's basically something I use with my clients when we're having indoor well-being coaching sessions, when they don't know what's wrong. Because from the health point of view, in your home, most of the people think about cleaning. You have to have a clean home, clean windows, no dust, and that's just it. But in reality, a healthy home has many more layers. You have the air quality, you have the different well-being parameters in terms of clutter as well. So with that simple checklist, I just try to guide people into, room by room, how you can just one tick at a time, make small but meaningful actions to overall improve the health of your home and therefore your own well-being. So it's just very simple, very straightforward, but it does seem to be helping people.
Wow. And what was your inspiration for that, let's say, coaching advice that you give? It was an inspiration, something that you saw it, or something that's, or naturally you just have this idea?
Regarding the checklist, it was mainly through coaching sessions with clients, really trying to identify what's wrong. And we're going through all the options, and it's like, oh, I'm not sure. You have a renovated home, which is perfectly new. Everything is clean. Everything else is fine. We need to find out exactly what's not working, and trying to find those gaps, trying to find out the possibilities. And that's why I started just to put all these little, checklists together to try to go one by one and identify the areas that may need attention. And most of the time, they're actually very simple things that you may not even think about. But actually, if you try it, it works.
Very good. Last question for you, Juan. Let's do it. What is one thing you won and how did you win it? Something special or a prize?
Well, in university, I remember that there was a little contest to design a logo for the 75th anniversary of the school where I studied in university. And I just put my proposal and they chose it. So I was actually quite chuffed at the end that they chose my little proposal.
Wow.
So for the whole year in stationery, pens, things like that, they used my little logo that will celebrate the 75th anniversary of this school. And I was actually quite happy because I don't have any formal design background, but I just experiment a little bit to see what can be done. And I was just delighted, really, because at the end of the degree, they do like a mini award ceremony, the best of the best in terms of, intelligence. But then at the very end, they said, the award for the design goes to Juan. And I was like, eh. So I felt really special that day.
And what was the logo? What was the logo?
It was basically just a combination of a couple of eyes mixing with the number 75. And obviously the name of the school in both English and Welsh. That's one of the challenges designing for Welsh logos and companies, because you got to make sure they're so bilingual and it still retains its readability. So yeah, that was my little mini award. It's not a lottery, it's not like a MBE or anything like that, but for me it felt like super special.
There we go, your legacy is already in the planet. There we go. You're done already. There's no way of being modest anymore. Done. Juan, it's not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the word association game. I'm going to give away some words and you just tell me one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Of course.
Family.
Family, values.
Money.
Money, abundance.
How about love?
Love, everlasting.
Life.
Life, purpose.
How about sex?
Sex, well-being.
Politics.
Politics, taboo. Downfall completely, especially now.
Religion.
Religion, spirituality.
Fear.
Fear, emotions.
Friendship.
Friendship, support.
Desire.
Desire, dreams.
Regret.
Regret, experiences.
How about success?
Success, challenge.
Yes. Wish.
Wish, goal.
One word for happiness.
One word. Oh, that's a really good one. One word for happiness, because that's dead on into my topic. One word for happiness, I would just say it is self-development.
Okay. One word for Cardiff.
Cardiff, friendly.
What's the name of your city again, back in Spain?
It's called Oviedo.
One word for Oviedo.
Traditional.
One word for Spain.
Welcoming.
And the last one now, Happy Home Clinic. One word.
Future.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a cup of tea, and I'm going to ask your best friend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Juan, and tell me something that he still needs to improve on, to work on. What do you think your best friend will tell me?
I think the good thing will be that I listen to people and listen to my friends, to my family. So I do have that natural listening skill. So I pay attention because I'm generally interested in what people are saying. And in terms of what I got to improve, possibly is because I'm very stubborn. So I may listen, but I'm very stubborn anyway. So that I really have to work on, really.
You are there listening, yeah, but inside is like, no.
Inside is like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But I'm listening to you.
Let's play now, Juan, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before... Okay, Juan, you can ask me a question now.
So what are you looking forward to the most this year?
My God, beautiful question. Like it. You put me in the spot now. What am I looking the most for this year? Okay, I think the first genuine what came to my mind now is I've been promoting my channel on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on YouTube, of course, because of the channel. But actually, but there is TikTok. TikTok is an app that's, to be honest, I never been interested. I never been, you know what I mean, into it. I knew that people posting, dancing, or expressing themselves there, which is quite fun. It's a very big now worldwide. And I'm going to tell you something interesting now, Juan, what happened to me. The other day, I was in Canada. I spent Christmas in Canada and New Year's Eve as well. So I just came back 2 weeks ago. And I don't know if it's because of jet lag or the change of time. One night, I couldn't sleep for some reason. I couldn't sleep. And I just was in bed. I said, okay, I find out when you cannot sleep for some reason, don't force. Just take how it comes. And at one point, you're going to relax. And I started thinking about the channel. And genuinely, this TikTok came to my idea. I was like, my God, TikTok. And do you know what? I don't know if you saw my stories on Instagram, or I always put stories of little clips about the interviews that I post on my, like promoting the interviews. And I started posting those little clips on TikTok. So in the middle of the night, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I opened an account on TikTok just to see how it goes. And I started to kind of wonder how it works. And I said, oh my God, because believe it or not, I'm very shy. And I don't see myself like making those videos like people dancing and doing this thing, you know what I mean? And I was like, my God, I would never be into TikTok because I don't see myself like doing those things. But actually, I started posting on TikTok those little clips of like the promoting interviews, and I've seen some kind of connecting with people already. It's been growing slowly. So, answer to your question, one of the things that I would like to focus a lot now, and the idea came naturally. It's promoting those video clips, little clips, teaser videos on TikTok, because somehow when you watch like those video clips, like one by one, quick, like in 20 seconds or 10 seconds, it's quite funny because you see so many different people sharing like the same answer. So this idea just came along naturally again, and I think something that I'm looking forward for this year is to promote the channel on TikTok and make you know what I mean, so people can see the channel in a different way, let's say in a more quicker way than watching the whole interview, so they can see little clips for all the other interviews. So yeah, that's my answer to you.
That's fantastic. And to be honest, it sounds very natural because, you know, it's a video that you're doing, video based, and transferring those videos to other platforms that rely heavily on video makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
And the way you adapt it to TikTok, which is obviously fast content, is actually quite interesting with, you know, with the same question, different answers and everything.
Yeah.
So that's really good. It's interesting how sometimes these great ideas come in at night, just because, you know, you're thinking all day trying to find idea generation, new techniques, new routes, but sometimes at night, kind of new connections are being built in the background, and then you wake up, oh, I got an idea. So well done by just straight away just doing it and just getting an account, because most people would have just like, falling back asleep, and then you forget the next morning.
Oh no, straight away I download the app and I do it. Thanks for the question. I have 500 people around the interviews and no one asked this question yet. Good for you. Very good. Thank you. Juan, did you enjoy the interview? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks so much for taking the time or evening. My God, I'm sure you had a long day. Thanks so much for taking the time for the interview. I really appreciate that. But before you go, I would like you to share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires in life.
Yes. I got here a quote that I have to read here. And it's from Catherine DeVries. And I found it really, really inspiring, to be honest, because sometimes you get like these celebrity quotes and they're impactful, but sometimes they don't have that much more meaning. And this one says, create your own tomorrows with your thoughts and actions today.
It says a lot. It says everything.
I just love that it's just like this taking action approach, because you have to do, you have these goals, these dreams, these wishes. But if you want to get even one step closer to them, you have to do something, you've got to take action. Like when you basically woke up and just got your TikTok account all sorted.
You see?
You got to take action. And once you put the first video, then the second, the third, and it's just that momentum that you've got to follow.
I didn't see this way. It makes sense because as you said, I didn't wait until next day or in the morning. Straight away, I just download the account. My God, you just made my day now. I just not knowing, you see?
That's it.
Juan, thanks so much. And we keep in touch, okay? I'll let you know when the interview goes live, okay? Thanks so much for the interview, okay?
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Have a good day now. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.